Hey guys, tonight, we're not drifting into myths or walking through peaceful ruins. We're heading somewhere different, somewhere brutal, somewhere real. This time, you don't get to admire Rome. You get to survive it. You're going to wake up in chains, train in sweat and pain, and feel the heat of the sand in your throat. Tonight, you're not a citizen, not a tourist, not a soldier. You're a gladiator, or at least you're trying to be. Before we start, make sure you're settled. Dim the lights. Let your body relax, your jaw unclench, and your shoulders drop. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Let your breath slow. And if you enjoy this kind of slow, immersive walk through the past, feel free to like the video and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is. I love seeing people from around the world winding down together. Now, take a breath, because this is going to hurt. You wouldn't last a day as a gladiator in ancient Rome. It begins in darkness, not the kind you get at night. Not gentle darkness, but thick, stale, cramped air with no breeze and no space to stretch your limbs. You wake on your side. Your wrists ache. Something's biting your ankle. No, it's rope. Tight, coarse. You shift and feel your ribs protest. You've been moved. Not gently. You remember flashes, shackles, a wooden cart, the smell of horse sweat and dust. A man shouting prices. Now you're here. A voice barks in Latin. It's too fast to follow, but the meaning is clear. Get up. You try. It takes effort just to sit. Your body is sore, your skin raw where the ropes chafed. The door creaks open, and for the first time you see light. Not much, just a flicker from a torch in the corridor beyond. But it burns your eyes anyway. You're not alone. Two others lie nearby. One is groaning, the other stares at the wall, unmoving. Boots stomp into the room. Hands grab your arms. You're lifted. Not gently. You stagger, and someone steadies you, only to shove you forward. Out into the corridor. It's lined with heavy wooden doors, thick iron bolts, and the scent of old sweat and mold. Above, the walls curve into a barrel ceiling. Arched, stone, cold to the touch. You're led past doors, past groans, past men behind bars, up stone steps, into the open air. It hits you all at once. Heat, brightness, noise. You're in a walled compound. Not the arena, not yet. This is the Ludus, the gladiator training school. Stone walls ring a wide sandy yard. Racks of weapons line one side, mostly wooden, dulled, or padded. Men train in pairs, shirtless, covered in dirt. Some move with grace, others struggle. In the center stands a man with arms like tree trunks and a short staff in his hands. He watches you. You're brought to the edge of the yard and forced to kneel. More shouting. Someone takes your name, your age, your weight. Then silence. You look up. The man with the staff steps forward. He looks you over, says nothing, just taps the sand at your feet. Here, he finally says, here's where you break, or become iron. Then he walks away. And your training begins. At first, it's just movement. They teach you how to stand. It sounds simple. It's not. Your feet must be shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, shoulders down, spine straight, sword hand ready, shield tight, eyes forward. You hold the pose until your calves burn, until sweat stings your eyes. You're not allowed to move. If you do, they hit you. Not to hurt, just enough to correct. Again. You do it again, and again. Then they give you a wooden sword. It's not light. It's heavy, unbalanced, thicker than a real blade. They call it a rudis. You're not meant to fight with it. You're meant to struggle with it, to build the muscles needed for survival. You swing it, sloppily. A man laughs. You swing again. He doesn't laugh the second time. Every move must be precise. Every strike aimed. Every mistake costs energy. You train beside others. Some are young, fresh captured like you. Others have been here longer. Their bodies are different, scarred, but strong, eyes hard, back straight. You don't speak to them. Not yet. There's a rhythm to the yard. The thud of footsteps in the sand, the slap of wooden blades, and shields, the bark of the instructor's commands. And beneath it all, the sun. It never lets up. It burns the back of your neck, your shoulders, your face. There is no shade. Water comes in the afternoon, lukewarm, tastes of clay. You drink it in gulps. Then it's back to stance, back to strikes, back to bleeding palms and aching wrists. When the sun finally dips low, you are led to a chamber. It's not a cell, but it's not comfort either. Stone walls, a straw mat, a bucket. You lie down. Your body is beyond sore. You don't think, you don't speak, you just breathe. And wait, because tomorrow is the same, only harder. Morning comes with shouting, not birdsong, not bells, just a voice cutting through the courtyard like a blade. It jolts you awake. Your back aches from the stone. Your mouth is dry. You blink into the low light of dawn and force yourself upright. There's no time for thought, only movement. You file out into the training yard with the others. There are more men today. Some familiar, some new, some already look broken. The instructor, your doctor, paces the sand like a lion. Always watching, always listening. He begins with drills. No swords, no shields, just your body. You learn how to fall. It sounds easy. But it isn't. You're told to throw yourself down, land on your side, protect your head, roll and rise again. You do it again and again until your ribs are bruised and your hip screams in protest. You learn how to get up from your back with a shield in your hand. It takes balance, speed. You fail the first 3 times. The 4th earns you a nod. Then come the footwork drills. Forward, back, pivot, lunge. The sand shifts beneath you. Every step wrong steals energy. Every mistake opens you to death. You move until your legs shake. Then the sword returns. The wooden rudies. It feels heavier today. You swing at the post. Again and again. 100 strikes. 200. Your hands blister. The instructor checks your grip. He tightens your fingers. Do not waste motion, he says. Do not waste breath. You repeat the strikes. Slower now. Focused. You feel the rhythm begin to build. Then, pair work. You are matched with another recruit. He's taller, older, scars on his forearm. He nods once. The instructor calls out techniques. High slash, step back, shield block, hook and push. You try. He counters. You stumble. You try again. Better. Then again. You land a strike. He smiles. A small one. The day stretches on. You train through pain, through thirst, through the slow, numbing exhaustion that dulls your vision. At midday, you eat a bowl of barley porridge. Thick, bland, filling, some figs, a bit of cheese. You eat quickly, carefully. Everyone watches everyone else. No one speaks much. No one trusts much. In this place, kindness can be weakness. Weakness can be death. You wipe your mouth, return the bowl, then back to training. This time, shields. They're heavy, made of wood and leather, curved to deflect blows. You hold yours wrong. It's corrected with a sharp rap. You're told to cover your whole body, to move with it, to breathe behind it. You practice stance again. Blade high, shield close, chin tucked, then more sparring. The sun climbs. Sweat burns your eyes. Your knees give once. You fall. You're told to stand. You do. And keep going. As the day fades, the instructor speaks. You train for one reason, he says, to survive the first fight. You survive that, you might see another day. He walks the line, looks each man in the eye. Some of you will not make it to the arena. Some of you will not last a minute in it. He stops in front of you, and some of you might live long enough to die with honor. Then he turns and leaves. You're dismissed. That night, in your stone chamber, you wash with cold water from a basin. Your hands stink. You peel back the linen wrapped around your knuckles. The skin underneath is raw. You eat again. Bread this time, hard, but real. Some dried dates, a bit of meat. You chew slowly. Let the salt settle into your body. Your stomach calms. Your limbs don't. They twitch. They ache. They hum. Sleep does not come easily. When it does, it's restless. You dream of the sand, of the instructor's voice, of the roar of a crowd you haven't yet heard, but you know it's waiting. Days pass, then weeks. You lose track of time. Every morning begins the same. Shouting, standing, drills, sweat. Your body changes. You notice it slowly. Your legs hold firmer. Your arms move quicker. Your balance is steadier. Your mind, too, sharper. You begin to see patterns in the fights. When to feint, when to strike, when to endure. Pain becomes familiar. Not pleasant, but manageable. And the others? You start to know them. Not as friends, but as survivors. There's a Thracian with a limp who never stops muttering. A Gaul with shoulders like stone. A boy no older than 15 who trains like he's twice that age. None of you speak much, but there's a kind of rhythm now. A nod, a shared breath, an understanding. You're not alone. You're not safe either, but you're not alone. Then one day, everything changes. The instructor summons the group. You stand in rows, sweating, dirt-caked, weapons still in hand. He unrolls a scroll, reads off names. You don't know what it means at first. Then you hear the words, chosen for the games, and you hear your name. It sounds strange, spoken aloud like that, as if it no longer belongs to you. The instructor points at you. You fight in 5 days, he says. Then he moves on. Your blood goes cold. 5 days. You nod once, say nothing, and return to training. 5 days. You repeat the number in your head over and over, as if it's not real, as if saying it softly enough might change it. 5 days until your first fight. 5 days until you step into the arena and offer yourself up to the crowd, to your opponent, to the gods, and to death itself. There's no ceremony, no special attention, just a subtle shift in how the instructor looks at you, as if you've moved from student to something else, something disposable. Your training changes. It's sharper now, more specific. You spar longer, harder, against better opponents. There are no more corrections, only pressure. You are no longer being built. You are being tested. You are paired with the Gaul, the big one. He fights like a hammer, every blow meant to crush. You learn fast how to duck, pivot, roll, strike. Your ribs take a hit that makes your vision flash white. You grunt. Stay standing. The instructor nods. Later that day, you're given real gear. Not steel. Not yet. But not wood either. You're handed a gladius, a short Roman sword designed for stabbing, and a curved rectangular shield. Then comes the helmet. Bronze. Heavy. Slotted eyes. You can barely see through it. You wear it anyway. They want to see if you panic. You don't. But your breath echoes inside it like a drumbeat. You train in the full kit. Every movement costs more energy now. Your balance shifts. Your swing drags. But you learn. You must. That evening, you eat alone. You don't speak to the others. The boy with the fast hand says nothing either. He's fighting too. You see it in his eyes. He's counting the days, just like you. The next morning begins the same, but everything feels different. The sun seems hotter, the sand coarser, the food less filling. Your body knows what's coming, and it's afraid. You don't admit it aloud, but you feel it. So you work harder, drill faster, hit harder. You fight through the pain, through the weariness, through the sick feeling that curls in your gut every time the word arena crosses your mind. The instructor watches. He doesn't praise, but he doesn't stop you either. On the third night, you can't sleep. You lie on the straw, staring at the ceiling. You imagine the crowd, not their faces, just the noise, the roar, the rising tide of thousands of people, none of whom know your name, none of whom care if you live or die. They want blood. You are the offering. You press your hand to your chest, feel your heartbeat. It's fast, but it's steady. You're still here, still breathing. You turn to your side and let the darkness take you. 2 days left. The instructor brings out the animal skins. Yeah, you were told to wear one on your back to get used to the heat, the smell, the weight. You practice dodging net throws. You practice slipping past a trident. They're not just preparing you for a fight. They're preparing you for a type of fight, a show, a performance. The arena isn't a battlefield. It's a stage. Your death must entertain. You block the thoughts. Focus on the sand, on the footwork, on the rhythm. You train until your vision blurs. Then again, then stop. The instructor claps you on the shoulder. Hard, but not unkind. It's the closest thing to approval you've received. You nod once and walk back to your chamber. 1 day left. You're awakened early. Not with shouting, but with silence. A guard waits at your door. He leads you to the baths. They scrub you clean, not gently, but thoroughly. Your body, now a map of bruises and scars, is washed in hot water and rough cloth. You're given clean linen, food richer than usual, roasted meat, a honeyed cake, a goblet of wine. You eat slowly, not because you savor it, but because your stomach is tight. They dress you in light robes, lead you to a room with open windows. The light pours in. You sit and wait. Eventually, the instructor joins you. He stands, doesn't sit. He looks out the window, then says, quietly, "Don't try to be a hero. Try to be smart." You nod. He continues, "If you die, die on your feet." Then he walks away. You are left alone with your thoughts, with your fear, with your breath. You close your eyes and try to imagine the sand beneath your feet. Morning comes with weight, not the weight of armor, the weight of knowing. You're awake before the guards arrive, dressed, sitting on the edge of your straw mat. You've barely slept, but you don't feel tired. Your body hums with something else. Dread, maybe, or adrenaline. You don't know the difference anymore. The sun rises, and with it comes the sound, a low rumble. It isn't thunder. It's the crowd. You feel it before you hear it fully. A vibration in the walls, a pulsing through the stone. The arena is waking up. They come for you. 2 guards, faces blank, movements rehearsed. They don't look at you as they chain your wrists. Not tight, just enough to lead. You don't resist. You follow. You pass others in the hall. Some nod, some don't look up. You wonder how many have walked this path. How many walked back? You reach a chamber lit by torchlight. The arming room. There, waiting for you, is the gear. This time, it's real. Steel. Your helmet gleams dully in the torchlight. The visor shaped like a grim mask. Your armor, greaves, bracers, and a broad belt lies beside it. Your gladius sits on the bench. Not sharp like a legionnaire's weapon, but enough to kill. You're dressed in silence. A man checks your bindings, adjusts your straps, hands you your shield, then leaves. The door ahead of you is thick, wood reinforced with iron. It leads to the holding tunnel beneath the arena. You wait there with others, 5 men, each with different gear, different builds, different eyes. One is calm. His mouth twitches with a smile. One is shaking. Another is praying under his breath. You are none of them. You are simply breathing, in, out, holding the hilt of your gladius too tight. A horn sounds. The gate ahead groans open. Blinding light pours in. Heat, noise, and then the roar. It's overwhelming. 10,000 voices, screaming, chanting, laughing, jeering. You step forward. The sun stabs at your eyes. The sand burns your souls. You walk into the arena, the Colosseum, bigger than you imagined, higher, louder, more alive. You are swallowed by it. You are one speck on the stage. You and one other. They lead you to the center. You look across the sand. Your opponent is already there. He's taller, broader, wearing a different helmet with a high crest. His shield is round, his weapon a curved blade. You've never seen him before, but he's done this before. You can tell. A man in white robes steps forward. The editor, He raises a hand. The crowd quiets. Your heart pounds. You do. And hear the speech. You just watch your opponent's eyes. Then the signal drops, and the fight begins. He comes fast. You barely have time to lift your shield. The first blow lands with a crack. You stumble back, recover, raise your sword. He strikes again. Low. You parry. Your wrist jolts. You move sideways, circling. The sand shifts underfoot. You try to breathe. He charges again. This time, you meet him. Your shield slams against his. You grunt, swing, miss. He punches your gut with the rim of his shield. You stagger. He slashes. Your arm takes it. Pain blossoms. But you hold. Step back. Reset. He pauses now, circling. You do the same. Your breath is ragged. Your arm throbs. But your legs hold. He comes again. You duck. Swing up. Your blade scrapes his side. The crowd roars. You don't process it. He grunts. His eyes narrow. You dance away. He follows. Strike. Block. Dodge. Hit. The fight drags. Minutes feel like hours. Your shield grows heavier. Your sword slower. Blood runs down your arm. His, too. You're both tiring. He overcommits. You seize the opening. Step in. Bash with the shield. Thrust with the gladius. It lands. Low. Deep. He stumbles. Crashes to his knees. Drops his weapon. The crowd screams. He looks up. At you. Then at the editor. You do the same. The editor raises his hand. Pauses. The crowd chants. Some cheer for death. Some for mercy. You wait. Every second stretches. Then, a closed fist. Mercy. You lower your blade. The opponent slumps forward. Guards rush in. Take him away. You are led out the opposite gate. Your legs are shaking. The tunnel is cool, dim, silent. The door shuts behind you. And you breathe. Not relief. Not victory. Just breath. Still alive. You don't remember walking back. You remember sitting. The stone bench in the chamber behind the arena. Cold against your back. Helmet still on. Blood crusted on your arm. On your sword hand. Dried along the lip of your shield. Your chest rises and falls. But you don't feel like you're breathing. You're just existing. Someone speaks. A guard. Maybe the trainer. You don't register the words. You stare at the blood on your wrist. And it's the only thing real. Eventually, someone takes the helmet off. The light stings your eyes again, even in shadow. They wash you. Not kindly. Not cruelly. Just efficiently. Like hosing down a horse. They peel off your gear. Toss it into a pile. Hand you linen. Lead you back to your cell. Straw. Stone. Darkness. Familiar. You sit. You don't eat. You don't sleep. You just feel your muscles aching. The cut on your forearm pulsing with heat. The tight throb of your jaw where the shield edge caught you. You don't feel like a victor. You don't feel like anything. The next morning, you wake to the smell of porridge and the sound of grunting. Training resumes without pause. You're not called. Not today. Instead, you sit near the edge of the yard and watch. Your body needs rest. Your eyes do not. You study the others. How they move. How they hold the blade. How they brace the shield with their shoulder instead of their wrist. The mistakes they make. The pain they're headed for. And for the first time, you understand what the doctor said weeks ago. Bleed here, so you don't bleed in the arena. You bled. You lived. Not because you were stronger. Not because you were lucky. But because you trained. And because you remembered. Every mistake you made in the yard was a scar that kept you alive in the Colosseum. That night, the boy comes to your cell. Not a child anymore. Not with that stare. He sits across from you, eating his ration. He speaks quietly. You saw the editor's fist. You nod. He looked at you. You nod again. He pauses. Would you have shown mercy? You don't answer. He finishes his food, stands, and leaves. The question hangs in the air like smoke. Days pass. Your body recovers slowly. The gash on your arm scabs, then scars. The trainer starts calling your name again. Back to drills. Back to Santa. NCE. Back to repetition. The wooden sword feels lighter now. the shield easier to manage. You breathe steadier during sparring. You think less, react more. You're not the best, but you're no longer new. And that's dangerous. It means they're watching you now. Not just the trainer, not just the guards, but the scribes, the ones who track names, kills, mercy, and potential. You're not just a gladiator anymore. You're becoming a product. A name to remember, maybe a name to bet on. That brings better food, better gear, and higher expectations. The second fight comes with less warning. Your name is called at dusk. You eat differently that night. Not because the food has changed, but because you have. You know what's coming. The gear fits better now. Your armor is tighter, tuned, yours. You've earned it. The guards don't chain you this time. They nod, a mark of respect. Or maybe they just don't think you'll run. They're right. Where would you go? The second fight is different. It's not one-on-one. It's a pairing, you and the boy, against two from another Ludus. Strangers, trained differently, armed differently. They wear heavy armor. Their shields are round, axes, not swords. The announcer makes a show of it. Two schools, two styles, two futures. The crowd loves it. The noise is deafening. When the horn sounds, you move as one. You and the boy, back to back. His form is sharp. His movements quick. You block. He strikes. You push. He stabs. The rhythm is there until it breaks. One of the opponents fakes a lunge, then pivots. The boy catches it too late. Takes a cut to the thigh. Stumbles. You cover him. Hold your shield high. The crowd roars. You hear none of it. You push your attacker back. Step in. Strike. The axe catches your shield, but you twist under it. Drive your blade up beneath the chest plate. He drops. The other lunges at the boy. You intercept. Blade meets blade. He's faster than the first, but less focused. You drive into him. He stumbles. The boy rises. Despite the limp, together, you corner him. It ends quickly. You don't even see the editor's hand. Because this time, no one asked for mercy. The blood washes off easier this time. You don't know if that's a good thing. The boy is quiet. He walks with a limp, but his eyes are brighter. The trainers nod. The scribes write. You return to your cell. Still breathing. Still whole. Still gladiator. Something shifts after your second fight. It's not a celebration. Not praise. It's something quieter. Subtler. You notice it in how the guards glance at you, just a little longer than before. You hear it in how the other recruits talk when they think you're not listening. You feel it in your own breath. Slower now, steadier when you tighten your wrist strap or wrap linen around your forearm before drills. You've proven something, not that you're the strongest, not that you're invincible, but that you're still here. In this place, that alone means something. You begin to train differently, not harder, but with purpose. You move with efficiency now, less wasted energy. Every step, every strike, every block has a reason behind it. You've seen how fast things can fall apart in the arena. You've felt how heavy your sword gets in the final minute. You've heard the silence before the crowd decides if a man lives or dies. And you never forget it. The boy's limp fades with time. He trains again. You spar together often now. You've developed a rhythm. He's faster. You're stronger. He feints. You guard. Sometimes you switch roles just to test yourselves. One afternoon, after a long session, he sits beside you under the shade of the awning. You sip water from a clay cup. Do you think we'll be free someday? He asks. You don't answer right away. Not because you don't want to, but because you're not sure what freedom means anymore. After a while, you say, maybe. He nods. And that's enough. You begin to recognize faces in the crowd. Not names, but expressions. There's a man in red who always RS first. A woman near the back who covers her mouth when the blood flies. A group of men in togas who place wagers with coins they flip between two fingers. You see them from behind your visor, blurred, but present. You begin to understand the rhythm of the crowd, too. What makes them rise? What makes them roar? They don't care who you are. They care what you are. And what you are is a vessel. For fear, for rage, for spectacle. Some days, that realization crushes you. Other days, it keeps you moving. You are summoned again, not to fight, to meet someone, a noble. You don't know his name, but his tunic is fine linen. His sandals are stitched leather. His teeth are white, his nails clean. He inspects you like a statue, asks questions about your fights, your training, your injuries. You answer only what you must. He nods and leaves. Later, the doctor tells you what it means. Your name is spreading. Small circles, but important ones. You might be valuable. That means more fights, more attention, maybe even a chance to fight for freedom or die for it. You don't know how you feel, but you nod anyway. A new man joins the Ludus. A veteran, retired, they say, but not soft. He limps slightly, scars everywhere. Half an ear missing, but his eyes are sharper than anyone's. He trains alone for a few days, then starts watching others, then starts correcting them, then starts correcting you. You listen, because he's survived more fights than you've seen. He teaches you things no one else did. How to judge breath, how to read a fighter's shoulders, how to hide fatigue behind stillness. You learn fast, because, time is short. No one stays on top for long. Another scroll arrives. Your name is on it. Next week, a solo match, one-on-one. But this time, against a beast. You're told it's part of a special show, a festival. There will be lions, bears, trained dogs, and you. They want blood, wild blood, a spectacle. The scribes bring your measurements. Adjust your gear. A new helmet is fitted, more ornate, a new shield, reinforced. You suspect it's because the nobles are watching. You sleep less in the days leading up. You train in longer sessions. But nothing prepares you. Not for the sound, not for the weight of 1,000 eyes staring down, not for the roar of something not human. You walk into the arena again, alone. The sun is blinding, the sand hot. The gate shuts behind you. Across the arena is a barred tunnel. A roar thunders from within. The crowd rises, and the gate lifts. You hold your breath and wait. It steps into the arena like it owns the sand. A lion, not starved, not chained, not weak. It moves low, shoulder blades rising and falling like waves, head swiveling, tail flicking. Its mane catches the sun. The crowd gasps as it prowls, then cheers, louder than before. You stand still, your shield in your left hand, sword in your right. The lion pauses, looks at you. It doesn't roar. That's the worst part. It's silent, measuring, like it knows it has nothing to prove. You tighten your grip, try to breathe through your nose. Slow, controlled, your heartbeat pounds in your ears. Then, without warning, it moves. Fast, you step back, shield raised. It lunges, claws rake across the shield's surface. The impact knocks you backward, boots sliding in the sand. You don't fall. Not yet. You pivot, try to slash. You miss. The lion circles. You keep your shield between you and it. The crowd is on its feet, screaming, chanting. You don't hear words anymore, just noise. The lion comes again. This time you sidestep, raising the shield high, using it to redirect the weight. It works. The beast crashes into the sand beside you. You slash downward. It howls. You land a cut. Not deep, but enough. Blood sprays across your legs. It limps back, snarling. You both circle now. Two predators, one trembling, one bleeding. The lion charges again. You don't retreat. You drop to one knee. Brace the shield. Aim for its exposed side. The sword finds flesh. It screams, a blur of fur and blood. It swipes at your helmet. The force knocks it off. Your head rings, but your body moves. Instinct now. You press forward, drive the blade deep. One last roar. Then silence. The lion crumples. The crowd explodes. You stagger back, soaked in blood that's not yours. You raise your hand. The editor stands, looks at you. Then slowly, he nods. Not mercy this time, not a spared life, but approval. They open the victor's gate. You walk through it, alive, again. That night, you lie awake, not from pain, not from fear, but from confusion. You killed a lion, you stood alone and lived. And yet, what now? You're not free, you're not safe, you're just more valuable. You hear footsteps. The boy sits outside your door. He doesn't come in, just sits there. You don't speak. You don't need to. In this life, silence is the deepest form of understanding. The next few days change everything. Your food improves. Your mat is replaced. You're given time to rest. Your name is mentioned more openly. You're no longer just a fighter. You're entertainment. They want more. They always do. The nobles make requests. They want to see you against specific opponents. Famous ones. Men with reputations. Men with names. You don't flinch. You don't gloat either. You simply nod and return to training. The doctor watches you now, more than before. He offers tips again, not just commands. Keep your elbow in, he says. You leave it hanging after every thrust. You correct it. He nods once and moves on. The veteran nods to you from across the yard. You nod back. Your limbs feel stronger, your scars tighter, but your thoughts, they're heavier. You begin to think of life after this, after blood, after the roar. You think of a place by a river, a small house, a roof that doesn't leak, bread that isn't rationed, but you don't speak of it. Dreams are dangerous here. They distract, and distraction kills. More matches follow, some solo, some paired, some easy, some brutal. One ends with your arm broken. The bone cracks cleanly when a mace strikes just above the elbow. You don't scream. You don't drop your sword. You keep fighting, win, then collapse behind the gate. They set it in a splint. You're given a break. The boy fights in your place. Wins. The trainer says nothing, but his silence is different now. It carries weight, respect. You've earned your place, not as the strongest, not the fastest, but as the one who endures. And in the arena, that matters most. Weeks pass, seasons shift. You mark time by scars now, by opponents, by how long it takes your bruises to fade. You lose count of the number of men you've faced. You remember only a few. Their eyes, their final moments, their silence. It stays with you. You don't feel guilt, but you feel something. Maybe it's weariness. Maybe it's memory. Maybe it's the small part of yourself you leave behind with each fight. But you keep going, because here, there is only forward, only the next match, only the next gate, only the next breath. You hear the word one morning as you drink from a clay cup, your arm still wrapped from a fresh gash. Rudy's, it's spoken quietly, almost carelessly, but it lands like thunder in your mind. A wooden sword, the symbol of freedom, a gift given to a gladiator who's earned his release, who's fought enough, survived enough, entertained enough, who has bought back his own life with blood and pain and breath. You don't turn your head. You keep drinking, but your hand trembles just enough that the cup clicks against your teeth. Later, you ask the boy. He nods, says a name, not yours, another fighter, a veteran, worn and bent, but alive. He's gone now, given a Rudy's, released. He didn't celebrate. He didn't smile. He simply walked out the gate and vanished. That night, you dream of wood, not swords, not shields, a wooden boat, small, empty, floating down a river in silence. The sun overhead warm but not burning, the breeze soft, and the only sound is the water licking against the hull. You wake with tears in your eyes, not from sadness, not from joy, just the weight of it. Freedom, it's real, it's close enough to dream, but still far enough to hurt. Your next match is different. No blood, no weapons, an exhibition. You're told to demonstrate technique, to display movement, control, posture, to perform. It's a show for visiting scholars, foreign dignitaries, people curious about Rome's living war machines. You and two others enter the sand with no armor, just linen belts, wood practice blades, You move in rehearsed drills. You strike, parry, circle, retreat, lunge. The crowd is quiet, watching closely. You're not meant to win. You're meant to be art. And for the first time since arriving, you feel something strange. Pride, not for violence, but for precision, for control, for turning pain into form. You bow at the end. The crowd claps politely. You leave the arena without bleeding. And you wonder, could this be what comes after? A life of demonstrations, training others, passing on the craft, not the carnage. But you push the thought aside. Dreams, still, are dangerous. Later that week, the boy is injured. Badly. A leg wound. Deep. The medic says he might not fight again. He lies on his mat, teeth gritted, sweat beading at his brow. You sit beside him. He says nothing. You hand him water. He drinks. Finally, he whispers, "You'll get out before I do." You don't reply. But inside, something turns. You fought beside him, trusted him, watched him bleed, watched him grow. You know what he means. He's slipping behind. And he knows it. But you also know something else. The arena doesn't always care who deserves freedom. Only who survives. Your name appears again. Not for a fight, for a feast. You're to attend a gathering, a private event, for patrons. They want to meet you, not just see you from the stands, but speak with you, ask questions, smile as if they own you. You are dressed in clean robes. Your hands are washed, your hair trimmed. You are made presentable. You walk into the domus of a wealthy Roman official. Marble floors, golden lamps, tables overflowing with food you haven't seen in years. Roasted meats, fresh fruits, sweet pastries. You are offered wine. You sip it, slowly. They ask you what it feels like to kill. You don't answer. They laugh. They ask what you dream about. You lie. They ask how long you think you'll last. You smile. They ask if you want to be free. You say, "I want to breathe." That quiets them. After the feast, you return to your chamber alone. No guards follow. You could run, climb the wall, disappear into the dark. But where would you go? What would you eat? Who would you become? A runaway, a hunted man, or worse? Nothing at all. So you lie down and wait. 2 days later, the scroll arrives. You're listed first. One final fight, a special event, crowds larger than ever, an emperor in attendance. You will face someone they call the executioner, a champion from another school. Undefeated, they say he's taken 50 lives. Some whisper that he's not fully human. You don't listen to the stories. You focus on your breath, on your gear, on your rhythm. You spar harder in training. You drill longer. You sleep less. You polish your blade. Not because you want it to shine, but because it gives you something to hold. The boy watches you from his bench. He still limps, but he's alive. You nod to him. He nods back. You both know what this could be. Your last match, or your first step toward a wooden sword, toward freedom, toward the river. You don't know yet, but you're ready, or as ready as anyone can be. Because in Rome, you don't fight for glory. You fight for tomorrow. They wake you before dawn. No one speaks. The guards escort you through corridors that feel quieter than usual. The torches seem dimmer. Even the sand underfoot as you walk across the inner yard feels still, like the world is holding its breath. You dress in silence. Your armor is familiar now. Leather straps, bronze plates, iron studs across your belt. You fasten the greaves, wrap the linen around your foe. Rearm, check the blade. Twice. Your helmet waits on the bench beside you, its surface scarred, dented, worn from battles survived. It will not be enough today. You feel it in your bones. This is the last one. Your name is already being shouted outside. The stands are packed. The crowd smells like wine, dust, and sweat. Thousands of Romans eager to see a man bleed. But they don't know you. They only know the story of you. The survivor, the lion killer, the crowd favorite. And they've come to see if you're still that man. You step into the tunnel. The gates begin to rise. Light floods through the crack. And there he is, across the sand, already waiting. Your opponent. They call him Corvus, the Raven. Tall, broad shoulders, his armor blackened, his face hidden behind a steel mask shaped like a bird's beak. No expression, no motion, still, too still. He holds a spatha, longer than your gladius, designed for reach, for control. In his other hand, a smaller shield, not for defense, for movement, speed. He was chosen. You were chosen, but not by chance. You take your first step onto the sand. The crowd erupts. You can barely hear it. Your eyes stay locked on him. He tilts his head like he knows you, like he's waited for this. You steady your breathing. The gate clanks shut behind you. The editor rises, raises his hand, and drops it. He moves first, fast. You parry, block, strike back. He's quicker than anyone you've faced. His footwork is clean, almost silent. He jabs low. You dodge. He hooks high. You raise your shield. The blow lands hard, rattling your arm. You spin, slash, catch his ribs. A shallow hit, but it draws blood. He steps back. You circle. The crowd roars. Sand kicks up under your boots. You attack again. He deflects, counters. You block, parry. For several minutes, you trade strikes. Clean, sharp, balanced. It's like dancing with knives. Then, you see your chance. He opens his flank. You step in, blade ready. Victory is a breath away. But then, his hand dips to the ground. Sand. He flings it directly into your eyes. You cry out, stumble, blind. You swing wildly. He moves behind you, and everything changes. The first strike hits your shoulder. Hard, bone cracks. You drop your shield, fall to one knee, try to wipe your eyes. They burn. Tears stream down, mixing with sweat. You hear him circling, stalking. Another blow. Your leg. You collapse fully now. One arm limp, one eye still blind. You reach for your gladius. Fingers brush the hilt. Then, a kick to your ribs. You scream. You hear them crack. Breathing becomes sharp, shallow. Still, you crawl. Still, you try. You turn onto your back, just in time to see the blade flash. It slices your thigh. Deep, too deep. Blood pools around you. You're going cold, but your mind won't let go. You lift the sword with your good arm. Raise it. A final swing. He knocks it aside, kicks it away. You lie there, heaving, eyes clearing just enough to see his face. He removes his helmet, and you finally understand. You've seen those eyes before. Years ago, smaller, younger, a boy, watching from behind the gate as you ran your sword through a man who begged for mercy. That man, his father. He leans in close, whispers, "Do you remember him?" You try to speak. Blood chokes the words. He stands, raises his blade, then pauses, looks to the editor. The crowd roars. Some cheer for mercy, others call for death. The editor raises his hand and closes his fist. Mercy. You blink. A breath of hope. You might live. You might crawl away. Then, the blade comes down, straight into your chest. The air leaves your lungs. No scream, just silence. He leans in again, eyes full of hate. No mercy, not for you. He pulls the blade free, twists, and leaves. The crowd falls silent. Even they didn't expect this. The editor stares down. Frozen. The guards move too slowly. You lie there, still. Your hand twitches once, then stops. The boy watches from the gate. His mouth is open, his eyes wide. He doesn't look away. Not until they cover your body. Not until the sand drinks the last of your blood. Not until the noise begins again. Coins, wine, bets placed on who's next. You are gone, but not forgotten. Not to him, not to those who heard your name echo through the stone corridors. Not to the ghosts that will linger in the sand long after the crowds are gone. You didn't die in glory. You didn't die clean. You died as you lived. Fighting, alone, broken, but never surrendering. They'd burn your body at dawn. Not in the arena, not in public, just outside the walls, where the city's wind can carry the smoke far away. There's no ceremony, no hymns, no crowd, only a handful of men, a few guards, one priest, and the boy. He doesn't speak. He stands at a distance, arms crossed, jaw locked. He doesn't cry. Not yet. He watches the flames take the shape of what used to be you. The heat rises. The light dances in his eyes. Someone beside him mutters your name. Not your real name. The one they gave you. The one the crowds knew. The one you earned. He doesn't correct them. Back at the Ludus, your chamber remains untouched for a day. The mat, the cup, the small wooden token left by the boy. The straw still carries your scent. The walls still hold the sweat and silence. Then they give it to someone new. The world doesn't stop. It never did. New recruits arrive. Old fighters fall. The sand is swept. The swords sharpened. And the crowd, hungry again. But some things linger. The boy trains harder, fights meaner. He begins to win. He stops watching the crowd for approval. He watches his opponents, the way you did, with patience, with weight, with that look you carried into the sand. The one that said, I don't care if I die, so long as I make it matter. And he does, one match at a time. A year passes. He wins his freedom, a rudy's in hand, a wooden sword. He doesn't smile. He just walks, straight out the gate. No pause, no look back, only a breath of air beyond the walls. The first he's drawn as a free man. He walks for days, north, through hills, through valleys, along a riverbank, to a place quiet enough to remember you. He builds a small marker from stone, smooth, stacked. He places the token beneath it, and carves into the top with the tip of a blade. He died on his feet. Then he sits, and finally, after all this time, he lets himself cry. The arena still stands. Centuries will pass. The walls will crumble. The sands will fade. The names will vanish from scrolls. But somewhere, somehow, the echo of your footsteps will remain. The sound of your breath, the rhythm of your blade, the weight of your refusal to fall. It will linger. Not in marble, not in stories, but in memory, in blood, in silence, in the simple, defiant truth. You didn't die a slave. You didn't die a show. You died a man. Now it's quiet. You can rest. The fighting is over. There are no more blades, no more crowds, no more gates, only stillness and peace. So let it go. The fear, the pain, the noise, let it all fade. You don't have to hold on anymore. Close your eyes. Let the sand settle. Let the lights dim. And if there's something beyond all this, you've earned it. Good night, Gladiator. You're free now.